Okay, once and again, good morning. Thank you for joining. Basically, we're going to have this short run of this lesson, and I believe we are all ready. I'm happy to be sharing this, and as you can see on my screen, it is a brief summary of digital pedagogy, and this was done by me. Thank you so much, and let us just start off. I can see Mr. Kasereka William, you are on the call. I believe we are going to be blessed together. Okay, so digital pedagogy. Digital pedagogy refers to the use of technology, the use of technology in teaching and learning. It's an emergency that needs agents from all teachers in this era to aid teaching and learning. So one of the things in this that it is an emergency that needs urgency. It's a skill. It is a skill. A skill to develop is to integrate digital tools with our daily teaching in the fast growing generation. So it is very important for us to embed this. I like this image on this slide that it is an emergency because these tools are very, very key, important to us as facilitators and teachers. So these tools may change, but these tools may change, but the practice never changes. Once we get them, they will always be part of us. Will be part of us. And once we utilize them, however much they change, we shall still be adopting to new, more digital methods of teaching. So that is very key. Then what I want to talk about as a teacher in this digital pedagogy is that let's embrace and utilize them as teaching tools, because learners have and love them. In addition, it's the government's initiative to promote. First of all, we want to let you know that these students we are teaching nowadays, they have these gadgets, they have these tools, they like them, they need them so much, they associate with them so much. So we should embrace it as teachers because these learners already have these gadgets. Then teachers change. Basically, with the digital pedagogy, it tends to change. It tends to change us as teachers. Facilitating with technology, which makes it a double-sided information of flow of information, whereby we do, and you do. In other words, that the teacher will show or the facilitator shows them. Then also with the learners, they do together. But now it remains to the teacher or the facilitator to continue doing it. So teachers in this digital pedagogy are designers of the learning experience. Our role is to create and design these learning experiences for learners. Not want to blend in both digital and analog activities in learning. So the fact that we are talking about digital pedagogy does not mean that it is going to take away the other analog flow of pedagogy, but it is going to blend in. We are required to blend in the digital with the analog to make a smooth running and a wonderful learning activity. There is need for continuous experimentation. As teachers in digital pedagogy, we don't have an end on what we know, but there should be continuous experimentation, trying out things and how to do them, how they utilize, how they come up together. So we should embrace it. In this image here, it shows that how the way people are embracing each other with holding their hands across their necks, which is really good. That's how we should embrace digital pedagogy as a system in this new era, in this 21st century. Digital pedagogy, as we embrace digital pedagogy, our mindset are transformed to promote and focus on learner-centered methods of teaching. Yes, by nature, once we start embracing digital pedagogy, we tend to change the way the system of learning and the way we learn. So it basically it makes us like think about the issue of learner-centered method of teaching. So learning is an active search for meaning by the learner and constructed rather than passivity received. And basically in this we see anytime, anywhere, learning takes place. Positive relationship between the learner and the teacher, foundational needs met, basically. Then we have positive identity. It's very, very key in our real life. Then student ownership and agency. Then real world relevance. So in the learner-centered, we basically look at these key factors: competency-based. Learners have to get contented with the knowledge they are having or they are participating in, and more to this, we have so the learner-centered principles for the teachers. In this, I want to basically remind us that what is our role as teachers. And in this image, what I like about it, that students are pedagogical partners. With the learner-centered, students are workmen. We work with them. We don't consider them as people who are low and we are up, but we work together. So they are partners in this, and they let learners construct their plans. You just give them an opportunity to make their plans on how they want to do things and how they do. And for us as teachers, our role is to just coach the learners to expect performance. So it is very, very important that we have this. Then more to it, we say encourage multiple participation. Encourage multiple participation. Basically, suitable learning is real life activity. In other words, our role is basically to make these learners experience real life even in their learning. They should relate what we are teaching them with their everyday activities. So prompt learners to think about their thinking. In other words, trigger them to think beyond what they are thinking, which will guide these as learners. Guide learners to think like experts. This is very, very key. We build up learners so that they should do, at an early age, they should think like experts, professional people that are going to cause great things to happen in the times ahead. So evaluate learners' thinking process. That is our role. We just evaluate and see how progressive they are becoming and how everything is changing in their learning system. Basically, more to it is that give them the steering and only do the mapping, reading, and direction. This is one of the key, that you let them to take up the teaching, to take up the guide, the learning, and your role as a teacher is to just correct them and show them, okay, what if you take this route and see what happens. But if we make ourselves to be the fountain of knowledge and they consider us as tough people that are going to cane them or pressure them on something, that will affect their learning process. But with us as teachers in the learner-centered curriculum or learner-centered pedagogy, is that we let them stay up, move the steering, and only do the mapping and direction. This is really different from the previous way of teaching. It has been really hard that the teacher comes and gives you information, he gives you everything, and he gives you assignments without him relating it to real life, but also more telling you that, okay, you can do this better, and also giving you an opportunity to discuss and express yourself based on how you are understanding it. Basically, with learning, with the learner-centered, it tends to bring up to the self-paced format of teaching, which is very, very important. Basically, learner-centered principles, their role as students, their role in this learning-centered curriculum or pedagogy is that they are accountable. They're accountable to their learning. Once, if they like it or they don't like it, it's up to them. So they will give time for everything that they love. Once we express ourselves how good our content is to them, they will be accountable to make sure that they make every assignment go well, because they have seen that it is really meaningful to them. So inquiring, their role is to inquire from you. Their role is to find out more from you, give you an opportunity to know, to find, to read, and they give you an opportunity to tell them beyond what they have researched or found out. And then discussion, their role is to discuss among themselves and also among you as a teacher. They give you their information, they tend to be with you, and they make you do what? they make you join in. Mr. Alan, thank you for joining. Basically, you have found us on the way towards almost the extreme end of this lesson, but I was still explaining about the digital pedagogy, and I'd reached on this point of learner-centered principles. Before even I go beyond it, I want you to give me a small experience of what you have gone through as a teacher, but also besides that, as a student in the first steps of your learning. How did you consider the teacher, and how did he express himself to you? Okay, yes, okay, I cannot hear you, but good, you are on. Even Mr. William Kasereka, I can't hear you, but I believe you are following me. That's good. So now it is very important for us to know all this. Mr. Alan, you can unmute yourself, or you connect your network, your audio, so that we can hear you. I was still explaining that accountability. I've already explained that the learners are accountable for the things they are going through in terms of teaching and learning. Inquiry, that is their role, to inquire from you. In their free time after the lesson, they should inquire from you and find out how good it is. Then discussion, they should lead up the discussion for themselves. It is really wonderful that if they apply this, it will be great. Above more, it is a collaboration. They should be in position to work together. They should collaborate with their fellows. That is very, very key in this learner-centered. Then the other one, but not the least, is that creation. Every lesson learned should stir them to create something and be part of something, and they have ownership on what they have created. So with the learner-centered, it's all about the learners, because we believe that knowledge is inborn, wisdom is inborn, that they have knowledge about all this, but they just have to be exposed to the things they have. And that is the role of a teacher, that you make them get exposed. But also more, we have reflection. Reflection basically is that you should be able to reflect on all the content and also the things they have gone through. So it is very, very key and important for all the learners to have this in their minds. So thank you so much. Thank you basically for watching and also taking time to be part of this. I really appreciate your time and everything you have done to make sure that you are in this place. Basically, at this moment, I would request that in case you have something to say, it is time. But in brief, I said that digital pedagogy is an emergency that needs urgent attention. So it is an emergency that we should embrace, because learners have these gadgets, they have these phones, they have this laptop, they have this tab, they enjoy social media. So if we utilize them as learning gadgets, they will be really good for them. We have come to an end of our lesson. Thank you so much for being part of this, and I wish you a good afternoon.